Welcome back, welcome back. We got a knife here, one I'm super excited for. Of course, I'm gonna forget the model of this, so I hope it's written on it. But this came in to the seller at Blade Show 2023, and it's from Boatright, which is a channel favorite maker. Definitely my top 10 makers I watch, and probably the #1 up-and-comer of the makers that I'm watching. I just think he does really nice work. I'm just going to take this off the screen, make sure there's nothing sensitive in here. We should be good. And we will get into it. Let's take a look at this knife. All right, cool. So glad this is on here. This is the Boatright Lavaka, and it's one of Chase's folding knives. Oh, it's a tiny little guy. All right, and here's the COA on it. Lavaka in Magnacut. Linen and tie. Wow, that thing is super light, super tiny. Let's see. And this one is on washers, so I was really curious about it. It's a little liner lock. He hasn't done many liner locks, like maybe 2 of them or something like that. Right away, I mean, the main thing that stands out to me is it's small and light, but he's got this nice little choke up point. So a bigger hand doesn't mind this thing too much. It's not perfect. It's definitely a little dainty, but man, that's pretty sweet. Let's see if we can get some action out of it. The washers definitely are not, you know, the most optimized from an action perspective, but hey, not bad. Let's see here. Actually, pretty good. I have another that came from the same show. This is the, oh, what's the name of this model? I always forget the name of it. The Fjord. There we go. It says it right there. So a much bigger knife. These are probably the biggest and the smallest of the 2 knives that he had at the show. And this one is a Damascus blade and a frame lock. So quite different. But quite nice also. And yeah, he's just doing some really nice work. I think he is very early on. You can kind of feel a lot of these are custom and, you know, probably has some innovation to do, but like, man, they're really nice looking knives. He used really cool materials. I mean, check this out. How cool is that finish? So you got like a little Ultim backspacer or something like that there. I mean, that is like really nice work on his finishing here. Roll that thing out. It's actually really nice on the action when you are just kind of using it right. Gotta kind of, for my bigger hands, I gotta get it in the right position to really be able to grab it and use it well, but I'm kind of curious if this thing's getting good lockup now. It does have a little bit of play there, so let me try tightening it up. A lot of times these things will come without Loctite on them or whatever and require a little bit of love. Looks like this thing might be a T10, but it might be a little bigger. Yeah, I think it's a little bigger, maybe a 15. We got here 15. There we go. But you know, then they get shipped or whatever, and they kind of loosen up. But look at that Magnacut on there, super cool on this little guy. Oh yeah, got a little bit of room there to tighten things up. Too tight. Do you find sometimes it's important to also decide which side to tighten on these? Too much. So I'll probably have to redo some Loctite on this to get it well balanced, but that's pretty darn good now. But now it's really a little too much there. But, you know, that could be also the feel for it would be go with more of a tighter rollout. I mean, it's definitely better centering now. Let's get it just a little bit looser. That's, I think, it right there. Sharp. Just took off a little bit of my armor there. That's the thing about smaller knives, kind of hard to juggle them, but took a nice little chunk out of the little thumb armor that I've built up with all the knife deployment and stuff there. That's pretty nice, actually. Nice little rollout. Does have a little bit of play, so it's certainly not perfect. It needs a little bit of work, but I'll work on that one off camera. Now, what's kind of cool about this one, by the way, is not exact match, but I do have a fixed blade from Chase also. That's pretty darn similar. So check that out. This fixed blade is, I think, the Moraine medium is one of his models, is the Moraine. And this guy's even smaller. I thought this was going to be like maybe about the same size, but this is a really tiny little guy. But quite a look there. Let's see. Get it cleaned up a little bit. It's a very small cutting edge, so it's definitely not for someone that's looking for a big hard-use knife. This would be just a light little carry. Let's see how the pocket clip is here. Pretty good. I think that would work just fine. And yeah, that kind of matches up pretty well there, huh? So when I saw the seller got it, I said, hey, if you ever decide to sell that, let me know, because I had this guy and just knew it would be a really cool match for this knife, and reached out to him. And these are not crazy. Like, I'm sure the prices are going to go up over time, but this little guy was $550 table price, I want to say. And that one right there was around in the high 800s with a Damascus. So he's still very reasonable on pricing. So it's, worth a look for sure to see if you like the work he's doing. He does most of his sales on Instagram. Just puts them on there, first come, first serve. Very simple. That's about it. I do love his little laser etch he does on here. That's pretty cool to be able to do that kind of stuff at his stage. I do see Lavaka number 3 in there, which is pretty neat too. Makes me wonder if this one has something on the inside. Fjord number 4. Yeah, and there's a date and everything in there, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, cool stuff from Chase over at Boatright. Definitely like what he's doing. I'd say this one, it's not quite there for me on the action. Just a little small and a little, touch and go. He knows it. When I reached out to him and said, hey, what do you think? He's like, honestly, that one's got pretty light detent. It's on one of like 2 knives I've done on washers. Really thin scale. So he actually called everything out that I should watch out for. The lock bar here is pretty thin. Did take the time to put a little bit of give it a little bit of relief there and round that out just a little bit, so it doesn't it's not sharp on the fingers. It actually feels quite good, but it is it feels dainty. That's the best way I could put it. So yeah, no surprise there though. And then he put like a nice little stone wash on it, so pretty cool. I'll have to put some thought into whether this one's a keeper or not for me, just given the size. It's even a little smaller than I thought, but pretty neat knife overall. If I can get it tuned just right, I got a feeling this could be a cool one for the collection, but just a little small in my hand. Maybe wouldn't be for everyone though. And then that choke up point does make it pretty good, but it'd be nice if this had stayed like a little thicker so that it could give you a little more purchase. It's not bad though. It's not bad. Interesting little knife. All right, all for now. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.